I'm Edie Lush, and I'm here in the Hub Culture Pavilion in Los Angeles at the GetGlobal conference. Really pleased now to be joined by William Baubin, partner at SOSV, China Accelerator as well. Now tell me, where is China ahead?
China's ahead in a couple different areas. One is social commerce. So if you go to Facebook or Twitter, you can go in and you can't buy anything. But when you go to the social networks in China, you can buy anything that you see. So instead of having endless advertisements like you have in the US, which is basically spam that doesn't really help your life at all, in China you don't have as much advertising, or the advertising works less well. But what you have is native advertising, so brand sponsorship of high quality content designed to drive purchases. So the whole idea of social commerce as opposed to ad-driven commerce is huge in China, not so huge here. So think about bloggers. Bloggers don't get paid very much here, but in China, just this year, over $12 billion US spent on working with bloggers and tying those bloggers to brands and products.
Absolutely fascinating. Do you think that will leak back here?
I think it's slowly happening, and this is where the advertising companies start to come under pressure, because you see a lot of ads. How many do you actually click on them? Most people just click on them by accident. Okay, and so you have a 0.3, 0.4% click rate, conversion rate. So having a trusted friend or an expert or someone recommend a product that they actually like, that they actually use, is a lot more effective, and that's starting to slowly bleed over. The funny thing about bloggers in, say, America is they're not paid. In China, they're all paid. So there's an actual model. It's more acceptable for the bloggers to get money but still recommend the product.
And where is China not ahead?
Enterprise. So most people run their businesses on consumer software. So think about it like WhatsApp. Well, people run their entire business on the Chinese version of WhatsApp. It's the Chinese version has a lot more functionality. It's a lot easier to use. It's better in almost every way. But think about it like running your entire business on a on a consumer type app instead of on a sort of corporate platform. And people in emerging markets don't use email. Email is dead. I mean, it doesn't work very well. And email on mobile, it's a horrible experience.
It's a terrible experience.
Yeah, so nobody uses email. But the alternatives, there's no kind of willingness to pay for enterprise product. And most of the companies, again, they're just using the consumer apps to run their businesses.
Do you think that's successful enough?
It seems to be working pretty well. I mean, I run my business on WeChat, which is the #1 sort of chat platform. It's much more than a chat platform, but it has basic function of chat. And I stopped reading email about 9 months ago. Somebody else reads it for me. So they put my emails that I need to look at in one box. I just check the box, but I no longer do email.
That's absolutely fascinating. And where is next, do you think?
I think the one area, so Chinese, because they have less of a history, consumer history, they have 15 years of retail history, while America has 150 years of retail history. They're a little bit more open to trying new things. A lot of people here is like, oh, I'd never have tried VR, but VR has already mass-wide adoption. There's one company that has 1,000 experience centers already open around the country, where you go in, you pay your $15, and you get a half an hour playing with whatever VR kind of setup you want to, playing games, hanging out with your friends. So the little cardboard sets, well, the plastic version have taken off. So people are buying tons of them. A lot of companies are giving them out for free. So consumer adoption of new technology is a lot faster. And so we're seeing VR being used. Now it's games and commerce. Everything kind of boils down to games and commerce.
Right, in life, basically.
Yeah, and so we have games starting to come up, and we're focused on commerce side. So we've invested in some companies where you're buying European foie gras or olive oil, and you put on the VR headset and you can check out the farm where they, very. Is it still illegal in the state?
In the States, yes, but not in Europe.
Yeah, so you have the nice little geese running around, and this is where your foie gras comes from. They're nice, happy geese, or the olive trees where the olives being pressed, olive oil is pressed. You can have a VR experience and visit the farm.
Cool. William, thank you so much for stopping by the Hub Culture Pavilion here in Los Angeles, and I'm Edie Lush.